A deadly silence spreads across the Caucasus Plains. The cold wind carries the scent of fear. Somewhere in the darkness, shadows move wolves, silent and precise, closing in on the flocks below. For the shepherds of Georgia, this is not a story, it's a nightly battle for survival. The moonlight glints on steel collars, forged to stop a wolf's killing bite. From the huts, dogs rise, giants bred by centuries of hardship. Their deep growls echo through the valley, warning the unseen hunters. And then, from the darkness, a massive shape bursts forward, the Caucasian Shepherd, the guardian of the mountains. Tonight, two ancient rivals will test their strength once more. One fights for instinct, the other for loyalty. Who truly rules these highlands, the wild wolf, master of the hunt, or the fearless Caucasian Shepherd, protector of man? As autumn descends upon the Caucasus, thousands of sheep begin their long journey down from the mountains. For generations, Georgian shepherds have followed this path, crossing valleys swept by icy winds, heading toward the Eldari winter pastures. Here, in the vast emptiness of the eastern plains, life is ruled by endurance and faith. The men sleep beside their flocks, their campfires flickering against the endless dark. Around them, the night is never silent. Out there, unseen, the wolf watches. Clever, cautious, and patient, the gray wolf is the shepherd's oldest enemy. Every step of the journey is a test. Without their dogs, the shepherds would not last a single season. The Caucasian highlands are beautiful but merciless. A land where survival depends on courage, both man's and his guardians. In the heart of the Caucasus, one breed stands between life and death, the Caucasian Shepherd. Born of mountain storms and centuries of struggle, this dog is not a pet, but a warrior. Weighing up to 65 kilograms and standing taller than the wolf itself, it was shaped by generations of danger. Its coat shields against the bitter cold. Its scars tell stories of battles won and lost. Unlike ordinary sheepdogs that herd and obey, the Caucasian Shepherd waits. It does not chase, it watches, listens, and endures. And when the threat draws near, it strikes without hesitation, fighting until the last breath. To the shepherds of Georgia, this bond is sacred. In these lands, a good dog is not a companion, it is the only weapon against the wild. A protector, forged by loyalty, standing guard where no man dares to stand alone. Deep in the Eldari Plains, science meets the wild. At dawn, researchers from the Species Conservation Center move silently through the brush, setting traps not for conquest, but for understanding. Their mission is clear: to learn how wolves live, hunt, and survive, so that man and predator might one day coexist. Days later, the trap is sprung. A gray shadow thrashes in the snare a female wolf, strong yet terrified. The team moves quickly, administering a tranquilizer. Her name will be Bologna. She weighs only 29 kilograms, but every muscle speaks of power. Her jaws can crush with over 100 kilograms of force per square centimeter, twice that of a Caucasian Shepherd. A radio collar is fitted around her neck, transmitting her every move across the digital map. Through her, the scientists learned that wolves travel up to 30 kilometers each day, sometimes skirting the edges of human villages under cover of night. Yet strength alone does not guarantee survival. When her body temperature suddenly drops, Bologna's life hangs by a thread. The team warms her carefully, breathing with her rhythm until, finally, her eyes open. Moments later, she rises and disappears into the wild, fierce, fragile, and free once more. The battle line. Night falls over the Caucasus. The cold wind shifts, carrying the scent of sheep across the plains. Somewhere beyond the darkness, yellow eyes gleam wolves are near. Silent, deliberate, they circle the sheepfold, always upwind so their smell will never betray them. Every movement is a calculation, every step a whisper of death. Inside the camp, the dogs already know. Their ears twitch, their bodies tense. Then, without a signal, they surge forward a wall of fur and fury crashing into the night. Dust rises, howls echo between the valleys. The shepherds shout from the huts, but the battle belongs to the dogs now. They fight as one, driving the predators back, never chasing too far. One mistake, one step beyond the herd, and even the bravest guardian can vanish into the jaws of the wild. At dawn, the field lies silent again. But not far away, a radio signal fades. One of the collared wolves, Chikinka, has fallen. Her body is found trampled in the grass, surrounded by tracks of the Caucasian Shepherds. The guardians had fulfilled their duty. The border between man and wilderness was safe once more. The return of the breed. In the dark years after the fall of the Soviet Union, the Caucasian highlands fell silent. Poverty spread across the villages, and the proud shepherd dogs of Georgia nearly disappeared. The great guardians of the mountains were replaced by thin, stray mongrels, too weak to face the wolves, too few to protect the flocks. Without them, the balance was broken. Wolves roamed freely, and each night the shepherds counted their losses by the light of dying fires. But hope returned from an unlikely place. The Georgian Cynology Federation began breeding pure Caucasian shepherds once more, gifting their puppies to the herdsmen of Eldari and Vashlavani. One by one, the true guardians returned to their homeland. Seasons passed, and the transformation was clear. The new generation stood taller, stronger descendants of a bloodline forged by centuries of survival. And as the dogs reclaimed their watch, the losses stopped. The ancient protector of the Caucasus had risen again, not as a relic of the past, but as a living shield between man and the wild. Inside the mind of a hunter. To understand the wolf, we must first look into its beginnings. In the safety of a zoo enclosure, tiny pups stumble out of their den, timid, curious, and unaware of the instinct that sleeps within them. At first, they only play. A moving tail, a rolling leaf, everything becomes a game. But in each playful bite, nature is teaching. Scientists watch as the lesson unfolds. A live mouse is placed before them. The pups sniff, paw, and hesitate, unsure of what to do. Then one bite draws blood and something ancient awakens. From that moment, they no longer see a toy, but prey. Hunting, for the wolf, is not cruelty. It is inheritance, the instinct passed through centuries of survival. Through play, through scent, through blood, they learn the rhythm of the hunt. By their first year, they are hunters in full, cautious, precise, and never reckless. Every kill, every step, is part of a code written long before man walked these mountains. Two worlds, one line of respect. Across the frozen hills of the Caucasus, the dawn reveals two worlds divided by a single line of respect. On one side, the wolf silent, wild, and untamed. On the other, the shepherd's dog steadfast, loyal, and bound to man. Yet their hearts beat with the same ancient rhythm. They share a bloodline, born from the same ancestor that once walked freely through these mountains. One chose freedom, the other chose loyalty. As the sun rises, scientists trace faint radio signals from the collared wolves moving through their vast territories, careful never to cross too far into the realm of men. At the same hour, fires burn in the shepherd's camp. The dogs lie close, their ears alert, guarding what has become their duty and their destiny. Neither is evil. The wolf hunts to live. The dog protects to survive. Together, they form the fragile balance that keeps this land alive, the eternal tension between wilderness and civilization. In the eyes of both burns the same endurance, a silent promise carved into the soul of the Caucasus. That freedom and loyalty can exist side by side, each honoring the other, so that life in these mountains may continue. The border of two kingdoms. The first light of dawn spreads across the Caucasus. A lone shepherd walks the ridge, his flock stirring softly behind him. From the far hills, a wolf's howl rises haunting, distant, yet familiar. The great hunter calls to the wilderness, reminding all that this is still his domain. By the shepherd's side, a dog lifts its head. Silent, unshaken, it listens not in fear, but in recognition, for it knows the voice that echoes beyond the valley. The two have met before, countless times across the years, testing one another's courage, each bound by duty written in their blood. The wind carries their stories together, one of freedom, one of faith. In the wild, the wolf has no equal, but his reign ends where a true guardian stands. Each rules his own kingdom, the wilderness and the world of man.